What's up, y'all? There I go again with the hands. Today I have another foundation review for you guys, and it's going to be on the Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation 2-in-1 Foundation plus Concealer. I have the shade Creamy Vanilla, which, first gripe, let's just get this out of the way, is completely not even close to being light enough for my skin. When I was on the Milani website, I said that weird. When I was on the Milani website, I was looking up reviews and I saw probably about 60% of the reviews saying they wish there were lighter shades. There are 14 shades in the range, but I feel like the shades are too close to each other, meaning the lightest is completely not light enough and the darkest is completely not dark enough. I do understand having shades that are really close to each other for purposes of different undertones, but as far as the light shades go, this being the first shade is the darkest, lightest shade in the drugstore that I have ever used, if that makes sense. Like, this shade is the darkest shade of any foundation range in the lightest color that I've ever used from the drugstore. Normally when I get drugstore foundations, I'm usually like between, if it's got a good range, I'm usually between the second or the third foundation in the range. Sorry if there's stuff shaking. Hoyt's up here because he's being an asshole today. So there's that. Y'all know the drill. If you hear things and camera shaking, it's him. Anyways, so like I was saying, this is the darkest, lightest foundation shade I've ever come across in the drugstore. And with all that being said, I am going to have to use a foundation mixer. I recently got the I can't talk again today. I recently got the Manic Panic Dream Tone, and I don't find that this really changes the consistency of this particular foundation. I am going to do like a review on this. If you guys want to see that, let me know. If you don't care, then I won't do it. But I thought, I know there's a lot of pasty girls out there who are just like me, it's a pasty pirate, and if you guys want to see a review on this, I will totes do that. But this is so dark to the point where I mix 2 pumps of this with 3 pumps of this, if that attests to how dark the shade range is. The next gripe that I have is that the darkest color is not that dark. If you are somebody that is darker than like a caramel tone, you're probably not going to wear this either, which is like per usual as to drugstore foundations and really even high-end foundations. They usually are not light enough and they're not dark enough. So the price of this foundation is $9.99. Like I said, it has 14 shades in the range. I think I said that. Did I say that? I don't know if I said that or not, but it has 14 shades. The packaging on it is actually really nice. It's a glass bottle, comes with a pump. Who doesn't like a pump? The consistency of the foundation is a very thick consistency. If I were to compare this to something on a high-end level or something that's been around for a while, I would definitely say this is almost a straight up dupe coverage wise and the way that it sits on your skin to the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. So if you are an avid Kat Von D Lock-It user and you're not that pale, then I would definitely check this one out. If you are super pale, I would definitely check out the Manic Panic Dream Tone to mix it together because they do seem to mix together really well. And just to throw out a point of reference for you guys, the lightest shade of this, like I said, Creamy Vanilla, would probably be in comparison to about an NC25 in MAC, which is pretty damn dark for the lightest shade. I know it may not seem that dark to some of you guys, but for somebody pasty like myself, it's real dark, girl, real dark. So I would suggest this for oily skin to combination skin, being if you are somebody that's combination oily / normal. I would not recommend this if you are somebody that's combination like oily / dry. Because of the thick consistency of this and because it does dry down to a matte finish, it is going to stick to like any type of dryness on your skin and it's going to look very heavy and cakey, which, speaking of, is the reason why my preferred method of application is the beauty blender. I have tried this with a brush and it is just way too much. Like, unless you are just piling moisturizer on your face before putting this on, I found that using a brush, it's just very hard to blend because it's so thick and it was just hard to get around my face. With that being said though, I did have a mattifying primer like I usually put on my face, but at the end of the day, this is a work day where I had worked all day and then later that night I went to the gym It did look pretty decent. I mean, I went to the gym, so obviously it wasn't fucking flawless at the end of the night, but it still covered, you know what I mean? My skin tone was still even. Some of my zits and stuff were popping out, but for the most part, it was pretty good. BT dubs, if you are not aware, my skin type is oily T-zone and then kind of normal everywhere else. So let's just get into the demo, shall we? We shall. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a close-up and pump out 2 pumps of the Milani Foundation and then 3 pumps of the Manic Panic Dreamtown. Like I said earlier, that is the perfect testament to show you how actually dark this foundation is, being the lightest color in the range, because I have to pump 3 pumps of fucking white foundation into it just to get it to match my light skin tone. I wouldn't even call my skin tone a fair skin tone. I mean, I'm pretty fair, but I ain't that damn pasty, you know what I'm saying? So just to give you guys a reference, here, right here is the original color, and then down here is the color with the Manic Panic Dreamtone mixed in. So like I said, I do use my beauty blender to blend this foundation in. I basically just dot it around my face and blend it in like I would with any other. However, I can say that I don't use as much of this foundation as I would say like my CoverGirl 3-in-1 foundation or even my MAC Pro Longwear Nourishing Foundation. So you can see using that small amount gave me about a medium coverage. I do have a lot of very red acne over here, so I am going to try to cover that. So I'm going to go ahead and put more in the spots where I need a little bit more coverage. The reason why I do it like this is because this foundation can get super hella cakey, super hella quick. So you have to go in really nice light layers and only put your second layers down where you need coverage the most. If you go in and put too much on at once, it's going to be really hard to blend because it does dry very quickly. But as long as your beauty blender is pretty saturated as long as your beauty blender is fairly saturated, you should be good. So I'm going to go ahead and put more where I need it. So this is pretty much the coverage that I prefer. You can see I got a really good full coverage out of it. It's not going to cover this up obviously because it's basically a scab because I picked it. Let's just get over it, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in and kind of show you guys what it looks like once it sets. I'm gonna let it sit for about 5 minutes and then we will zoom in and check it out. All right, so you can see it's not like a super flat matte finish. Sorry, I'm looking down, I keep looking in the mirror. It hasn't really like settled into my lines. However, I will say that I don't put as much in the spots where I do have like fine lines because it will crease in there because it is such a thick foundation. Any foundation that is on the thicker side is going to crease no matter what you do. It is a lot better if I powder with it because you can see like right here it is kind of starting to crease in my laugh lines here and here. But I do like I do like the fact that it's not like completely flat matte. It does have just a little bit of, I don't even want to say sheen, but it's just not like insanely flat matte, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of my makeup on. I am going to powder it just to kind of avoid any further creasing. I'm actually going to film a tutorial with the peanut butter and jelly palette, which should be up after this, I believe. If it's not, I will link it down below and I will come back and show you what it looks like with makeup on top. Okay? Okay. Alright y'all, so this is what it looks like with the rest of my makeup on. My blush and my bronzer went over it really well. It didn't blend away. That, if you guys haven't noticed, I'm a total stickler for that. My blush and my bronzer areas is where most of my trouble spots are as far as acne and scarring goes. So if I have a foundation that just blends away when I go to put that stuff down, it annoys the pias out of me. So there's that. So powder, everything went on really well. I will leave below like everything that I used. I did do a tutorial on this look, so if you're interested in that, it will probably be up either the next video or the video after that, and that is what's up. I do have like a little bit more creasing like in my forehead, and on my laugh lines it did start to crease up pretty bad, but I think it's because I didn't put powder on it. So like I said earlier, this is a fairly thick foundation, so you're going to have creasing there if you don't powder right away, and I did not. So when I've worn this before though, it does crease. I'm not saying it doesn't. Everything fucking creases on me because I have lines, but it doesn't crease as bad, you know what I mean? So that is what's up. I like the foundation. It covers really nicely, stays on my face all day. It's pretty bombs. As I said before, definitely a foundation more geared towards oily skin and not so much dry skin. Got a little crustalicious going on my crusty little scabby zit. But any thick foundation is going to do that. So that is what's up. If you guys like demo and reviews much like this one, then definitely give me a thumbs up so I know to continue to do them. So I think that is what's up. I think that's all I wanted to touch on. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, pop them down in the comments. Let me know if y'all have this foundation. Do you have this foundation? What do you think of it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? What's up? Let me know. And that's it, I believe. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you are not. Follow me on all my social media, which will be right here. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.